Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now.
Adrian, it was a wild weekend, man. UFC 300, everybody was watching it. I don't know anybody that was not watching it unless you had like sick family members or something, man. You watching this card. What was the craziest part of that card for you?
The craziest part of that card for me was I have two crazy moments. Of course, Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje. That's the talk of the town. Everybody absolutely loves it. Max Holloway with the 4-0 lead ends up just being like, nah, fuck it, we're gonna just stand in the middle. We're gonna stand and trade, and he ends up knocking out a guy out cold. That like he's been TKO'd, but not never out cold like that. And a guy who hits like a Mack truck and kicks like no other, man. So to be able to do that against someone like Justin Gaethje, man, that was absolutely crazy, and that was like a holy shit moment for me. But the other holy shit moment for me was Diego Lopes versus Sadiq Youssef. I got to train with Diego for a couple of weeks, like about I'd say about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Looked really really good. I was very nervous for that fight just because I know how much of a killer Sadiq Yusuf is. Like I don't like Sadiq is one of those guys I've always looked at as like, man, he's gonna go up high. He's gonna go like he's that guy. He's tough. He can strike. He can grab. Like he can stop against these wrestlers and all that stuff. And like I really love watching him fight because he always brings it. He's a dangerous guy. So seeing a friend like Diego go fight him, I'm nervous. I'm just like, oh shit. Like, man, you should have seen me pacing in my living room. I'm like nervous. Like I thought I was about to go out. Like I'm in a like I felt like the energy like and everybody's just looking at me like what are you doing? I'm like this is my friend. He's about to go out there and fucking fight. And they're like this is how we feel when you fight. And I'm like I I I don't know, man. It's not like this. It's not like this because I'm a fighter. I know like I'm feeling those moments that they're feeling and all that stuff. So like it was intensified. And then watching him go do that to go have like the performance that he did against Sadiq, man. Where I was super ecstatic, man. Again, man, Sadiq Yusuf, man, is an absolute killer, and Diego Lopez went out there and did that, man. That to me was like another holy shit moment, and that was my personal holy shit moment, just because again, I got. I trained with them for a couple weeks, got real close with their team, so I really love that, and I really love that
Yeah,
feeling.
let's go back to that. Going out to Vegas. I spoke with your teammate
Mhm.
Cam, and he was out in Vegas for like pretty much most of his camp, and you're out there. How was it training with that team with Diego Lopez?
Yeah, honestly, it was the coolest experience for me because again, like training back home, there's like a difference. Some people like again, like Houston still hasn't hit that that spot in like MMA, like it's not like Florida. You can't go to American. It's not like we don't have no super gyms or anything like that. So, like it's us, just a small team, and most of those guys have to work and all that stuff. And there's we got a couple high level guys. Me, Rafian, Schnell, all those guys. But like even then, like it's hard to like get a consistency from everybody. But everybody there, like everybody's consistent. It's everybody there every day. Uh, training twice a day, almost every day, but it's like a different energy. Like it's like the small group, it's like again, like I get that back home, but also at the same time, it's refreshing whenever we have this like a good group with us the whole entire time, and everybody's just there, like they're just good people. I train with some people that I was like I would I train with them, but do I consider them training partners? A lot of times I kind of don't. I'm just like like Rafian, good friend, training partner. I'll like, man, I'll continue like helping him for whatever and all that stuff. But there's some other guys I just look at and I'm like, that guy really doesn't help me. He hasn't really helped me. I give so much and I get nothing back. But over there, man, it's everything's reciprocated, man, from every little thing, and I absolutely love that. So it's just a little bit more like I have a little bit more Cameron Smotherman's, a lot more Rafion Stotts and Schnell's just surrounded, like just at a high level, and I love that. So I get that a little bit more, and then on top of that, man, I like the coaches. I like the coach Pancho. His mind is. I like his mind. I like picking at his brain and just hearing how they go about things. So yeah, to me, like, it was really dope, man. I'm really looking forward to working with him a little bit more in the future.
Yeah, man, it's phenomenal to see Mexico doing their thing, man. A lot of good Mexican fighters. You got that blood in you too, you know what I mean? So it's all good, right? There's a connection
Oh
there, right? What
yeah,
do you
man.
mean?
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely a big connection too, man. Especially, man, I remember meeting Diego Lopez after my fight with Randy Costa. After that fight, this is before he got his contender shot. This is before, and I just remember just meeting him, and he was just like the most solid guy in the world. And even then, like, he was sweet. He was a sweetheart, like, down to earth guy, just happy to be, like, he was just happy. Uh, like, again, you could just sense that energy. And then even then, like, I told him that my mom was a fan of Irene Aldana. He goes out there, gets Irene Aldana on the phone, has Irene Aldana send a voice message to me so I could show to my mom later. And I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And that, again, like, at that time, like he didn't have to, nobody knew who he was at that time, and he just went out there and did that for me. Again, I'm indebted to him, man, just because, like, what he, like, the nicest things that he's done, man. He's such a great person, man. I'm so fucking happy for that guy.
Yeah, man, fighting will bring the most humble, like the most polite, the most kind people. You'll run into those people all the time.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think a lot of fans take that for granted, dude. Like, it's
Hmm.
you felt it, right? You felt the fan
Yeah,
turn
yeah.
on you, right? How was that experiencing that?
Yeah, it was it's crazy, man. Like, it's the fan turns, like, luckily for me, man, I have a lot of, like, solid people around me. Like, I have a lot of solid people around me, and also, like, you can tell who were the real fans and who weren't immediately. Like, cause, man, a lot, like, I got a lot of people, like, I got a good solid group of fans that will support me no matter what, and I absolutely love those people. But there's also those fair weather fans that will go out there and be like, "Oh, I thought you were the shit," and like, just a whole other thing. And I'm just like, bro, like, it's a fight. Anything, like, fighting is the only place where shit actually can go wrong and actually can happen. Like, take a turn for the worse in just a split second. So, uh, again, that part of the game, I'm never gonna get used to it. Like, I still fucking hate it. Like, I hate seeing it happen to other fighters. Happening to me, fuck it. It is what it is. I know it's a part of the territory, but also at the same time, when I see it done to other fighters, man, I'm just like, bro, like, guys, bro, they're out there fucking putting their lives on the line. Even though, like, we have everything set to a point where we are as safe as possible, they're still putting our lives on the line every single time we step in that cage. The wrong punch and your head bounces on off that canvas, man. You're put in a coma. Who knows if you're gonna wake up out of that coma? So, like, a lot of these fans, man, they're fucking assholes, man. So, like, and they're pieces of shit that I'm sorry, I'm getting into my feelings. 'Cause I seen it not too long ago. I seen people talking mad shit about a lot of these guys, and I'm just like, bro, shut the fuck up, guys. Y'all wouldn't dare to step in. Y'all wouldn't dare to step in that cage and, like, fight in front of millions of people and do that, man. Like, like, again, I think I heard Safe talking about it. Like, that's just pure evil. Like, he was talking. I think it was to. I remember seeing Matt Serra on there, but I just can't remember who exactly was on that panel. But he was like, those guys are just fucking evil. Like, why would you want to go out there and do that? Like, it's just, like, to me, I just look at that as the scum of the earth, man. These people already going through it. Like, and for me, was going through a knockout loss and going through a stoppage loss with leg kicks and all that stuff, and people just want to just kind of just poke and just go out of their way to just poke. And I'm just like, bro, who the fuck are you? Why are you fucking doing this? And you see it done every day on Twitter. Like, a fighter says something, and next, they're getting harassed so much, just getting, and they won't even follow the fighter or anything like that, even on Instagram or wherever. They just go out their way to DM them or just talk mad shit, and I really hate, that's the part I really hate about this sport. But also at the same time, my favorite part about this sport is the fans. Like, it's the worst part of it, but it's also my favorite part of it, because I also remember being one of those fans as well too, and, like, trying to give back at any point that I can, because like, I remember being that guy that that got like a response from like John Jones back in the day and being like, oh fuck, this is the fucking craziest thing. I was like, oh shit, he answered me back. And it might have been just been like okay, that's not cool whenever it's just like something small. And I was like, oh shit, he answered me back. Me, I never said anything at that time, fucking trying to bash a fighter. Now, if I bash a fighter, it's usually in my weight class,
Yeah,
and I'm just trying to fight.
of course.
But I don't even do that.
Well, it's understandable because it's competition between the
Yeah.
fighters. If you bash each
Mhm.
other, you bash each other, right? We can't say nothing about it,
Yeah.
right? It's just between you two.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. You've experienced like the rocket ship. You know what I mean? 5 fights in a row, just boom, boom, boom. Like
Mhm.
everybody's on the train, and then you experienced the flip side where you had a year where
Mhm.
the results didn't go your way, and now you're rebuilding, man. How has the rebuilding phase been?
Man, yeah, the rebuilding phase has been like eye opening for me as well too. Like I've noticed there was like a lot of things that I wasn't doing in my camp that I feel like I could have been doing better. Again, I kind of like the best way to put it is I like I've been saying it almost every interview, man. It's like I'm gonna go right back to it because it's the perfect example. Is that my last year, even a little bit before that, whenever I got coaches in my corner, because at the long for again, once my coach passed away, I stopped doing a lot of stuff. Like I was really in tune to trying to get the most amount of fights. Like whenever I fought David Grant, like that was the first full camp I had without a coach, and then after that, trying to get fights and trying to train at the same time and be coaching to all these guys while also doing all this other shit like family, buying houses, doing this and that, like, and all that stuff. So much stress at that time that like I was overdoing a lot of stuff. So I was like studying, doing film study. I was doing everything right in camp. I was crossing all my T's, dotting all my I's, doing everything I could. But once I got coaches, I kind of just pulled back on a lot of stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, I can relax a little bit. But also in this fighting sport, man, you can't let your foot off the gas. You can't get comfortable. And I got comfortable in 2023 because I had coaches that were there and like I was just like, okay, they'll put the work in front of me and I do it. Again, for that Font fight, uh, I was I did all the work. I did all the work. Uh, the only thing I didn't do was my homework. I wasn't really film studying the way I should have been. Again, like I kind of got crazy. I wasn't even looking at myself too much because I put the work in front of me. Uh, just put the work in front of me. I just kind of just grinded, and a lot of times, especially at this high of level, you can't just put the work. You go into college and all that stuff, and you go into school. Uh, I was doing all my work in class, but the reason I had a failing grade is because man, I wasn't doing any of my homework. And that homework would obviously translate over into what we're doing in the next segment, and there's whatever the fucking lesson of the day, and it would end up fucking me up. So that's the best way to put it. I just wasn't doing my homework, and I let my foot off the gas, and I shouldn't have. Uh, but yeah, that after that, like I've kind of turned a new leaf and like everything just around me, just with the people that have been around me, and just like being able to go out to Vegas and all that stuff. Like again, that gave me like a fire underneath my ass, because whenever I was in Vegas, that's whenever I got a fight, and I was fucking so fucking happy that just like lifted my spirits, and I was ready to go again, man. So yeah, that it's just been a good time for me, and also like getting back to like what I should have been doing for this long time. For over a year and a half, I should have been doing.
Yeah, man, it's great to hear like a very revealing answer. You know what I mean? Like you've always been like that. We've been speaking for a while, and yeah, man,
Mm-hmm.
it's part of the journey, man. Not everybody's gonna strap onto a rocket and win a title. How many guys have done that?
Mm-hmm.
Very what?
Yeah,
Couple?
yeah, that's a very couple, and I would have gave the suggestion of O'Malley, but O'Malley he took the loss
Cheeto.
against Cheeto, and then even then he had took like a heavy big step
Mm.
back in competition, and then right after that after his big step back he slowly adjusted into fighting the higher
Mm.
level guys, and tailored like pretty much like it was like fighting lower level guys got his confidence,
Yeah.
fought Pedro, and then fought Hyon, and then after that, he got into the title contention. So yeah, it's like shit. Like nobody really has that. Nobody's really
Nah.
done that. Maybe John Jones,
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
possibly John Jones is probably the
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. Habib, right? Like those guys.
Yeah. But even with I would say I wouldn't even say Khabib because it took him a long time to even get there because of the nobody wanted to fight him
Yeah.
at that time. So like that would have been a good one. But yeah, the not being able to get fights, booked, and him getting injured. So maybe that was also that I kind of count that in as well
Okay.
too.
Yeah, man. It all leads up to this fight coming up May 18th.
Hmm.
Vinicius Salvador. Like, what do you think of him and his skill set?
Yeah, he's a good fighter. He's a solid fighter. He's coming up from 125 to 135, and because he missed weight against I believe against CJ Vergara. I'm not sure about how much but I know it's like I think 3 pounds over. So yeah, I think he just said fuck it, I'm going up to 35, and they're gonna give him me. So I was like, oh, this is a nice welcome. It came out of nowhere. It can't honestly. If I'm gonna be honest with you, that this fight came out of left field for me. But yeah, as a fighter, he's good. He's tricky. He likes to try to swing off the back foot. He likes to want to goad people off to fight him off in the fence, and I'm just like, please. I'm just like, please. I love that. Like, please, I want all that. Please goad me into going to the fence. Fighting off the fence. I would 100% oblige you in that. But he's a little wild. He does a little tricky stuff, but I just feel as the striker, I feel like I'm way more technical and I hit way harder. And then also too, I know if from what I've seen in the past, he has a soft stomach, and I'm willing to expose that 100%. But yeah, like again, like I'm 100% ready. I'm treating this like it's a title fight, man. I'm treating this like my back's against the wall, and I'm ready to murder a motherfucker.
Yeah, man. The style that he has is like perfect for you. You know what I mean? Perfect to come back to a
Mhm.
style like that. And from what you were saying, it seems like you've learned a lot from those last two fights, especially in the striking. Like you mentioned, you were doing the
Mhm.
work, but you weren't doing the homework. But now you coming back, doing the
Yeah.
work and the homework, and we're gonna see that result. Like what is the staff around you now? The coaching staff. You talked about it earlier. Like,
It's everybody's the same in the sense of like my coach Eve Edwards, my striking coach Michael Chase Corley. Like now we're like breaking stuff down. Like we're like actually sitting back and actually like drilling. We're not just like it's just not like, hey, we're just gonna run this class, run this class, run this class. Like, man, like my coach Corley, like, man, we're setting like stuff up. We're having guys come in to like mimic this guy. We do drills, like we're drilling specifics, and we're doing all these things that are like, hey. And then whenever I'm sparring, man, no matter how much I want to fucking change what I want to do to win a round, like, because I'm like the thing that I'm doing specifically, like again, like if I'm supposed to stay in a certain position or like work like these certain combos, I have to keep working that. I have to keep working that. I can't switch it up. I gotta stay in tune and stay working on the game plan. So uh, but also staying within my base, not get too like I guess best way to say is like we're trying to find that like we're finding that happy medium for me and like of course, like stick to what I had been doing, but also like lining in and not getting away in my game plan in the sense of like going back to some bad habits that I've had in the past, like in that font fight, like like I got way too square in this in the last exchange, and I was trying to throw wild, and then that put my feet right together, and it just again I left my head right there in the center on the platter for Rob, and I've done that in the past, and also in the same time going into the Jonathan Martinez fight, I was heavy on that lead foot, and I knew that the kicks were going to be coming, but I let that seep into my mind so much that it changed my whole style, and then that first kick ended up fucking up my whole leg immediately. So that one ended up fucking me up for the rest of the fight. So, but yeah, we've been working on specifics and drills and trying to do our best to stay within like again, like I know I can fuck a lot of my training partners up, but I have to stay honed in and do what I'm supposed to do. Like I again, like I know if I throw that right hand, but I know I'm gonna be like I know they can't touch me after this. Like I can't get lazy and bring it back to my chest. Like I have to do everything in a technical sense. You know, I can't get lazy, stay in tech. Like I have to stay sharp and stay in it and stay defensively minded and making sure that my base is underneath me as well too. So those are my biggest. Those have been things that we've really been trying to like like put a needle in and like make sure that we're fucking like hitting this really hard. Because again, like for me in this fight, the biggest thing is I'll just have to stick to my basics again. This guy, he's wild, but again, like everything's kind of repetitive, you know. And once you get the timing, it should be a done deal.
The last year, you were in the spotlight, right? A lot of media attention, a
Mhm.
lot of stuff going on ahead of the fights. You know what I mean? A lot of build up. This one, you're able to be in the shadows, man. How is it? You know, pulling back and being in the
Oh,
shadows. It must be good though, right? It must be nice.
yeah, I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I kind of fucking love it. I kind of love it. I just want to train, go fight. Doing all the extra stuff is cool. You know, I think uh yeah, it's just been cool, man, being able to sit back a lot, you know, and talk to the people that I really enjoy talking to, you know, making time for those guys, man. So like for me, it's amazing. Again, but also too, I wouldn't mind getting back to it in a sense because I know I'm getting closer to that point of like the title shots and all that stuff, you know. But for me, man, I've been like I'm gonna enjoy these moments because again, I would only want to talk to the people that I like talking to, you know. So again, I'm talking to you right now. Like again, we've been interviewing since LFA days, so I'm loving this, man. Uh, so yeah, for me, man, I'm enjoying every moment of it because I know once I get back on this track, man, it's gonna be going back to being the busy guy.